Heyo everyone, and welcome to Circuit Ricardo Tormo, just outside of Valencia in Spain. I'm here with most of the other motorcycle journalists in the world, as far as I can tell, at a beautiful bird chirping morning here at Valencia, and we're here to try the Panigale V4, that famous already power plant, the Desmosedici Stradale specifically. And the track here is quiet, but it won't be quiet for long. We're gonna burn down the straightaway, we're gonna rip through some corners and drag some knee hopefully, and see what it's actually like to ride this thing around at speed. So join me, won't you? Here it is in all its glory, finally. All red, all day. This is the Panigale V4S. So you got the Olin suspension and forged wheels and a whole lot of horsepower. But interesting, huh? Listen to it. Does it sound kind of like a twin? Like, it has a very interesting firing order where two pistons fire at nearly the same time and then the other two pistons fire at nearly the same time. It's very distinct. It doesn't sound like a typical V4. Anyway, let's take it for a spin, shall we? By the way, that bald dude, that's the dude that's in all the sick photos of Ducati that you've seen, all the awesome videos and backing it into corners and stuff. That is him in the flesh. And away we go down Valencia pit lane. We are in race mode because, you know, I don't want to like make you guys sit through paltry sport mode if we're at a racetrack. Probably going to get passed a bunch of times in the first lap here as we talk through some of the things that are a little bit different about this bike. I'll try not to embarrass myself, and then we'll do a flying lap. Holy shit. Look at all these other jamokes. It's Adam Wahi honking at me. First thing that you'll notice about this bike is how similar it feels to a 1299 as far as ergonomics goes. The bars are wide, there's plenty of leg room, the seat's pretty cushy. And as you start to feel through corners with a little bit of speed, I'll let this guy go by here. As you start to feel through corners with a little bit of speed, you start to feel the front end, and the front end is really another super strong point on this bike. There's lots of feel, it's very direct, and the brakes are incredibly good. The brakes are not Brembo M50s any longer. The brakes are stylemos, they call them. They're also monoblock, also extremely strong. They're a little bit lighter than M50 monoblocks, but they have the same stiffness qualities as the M50. So basically it's an evolution of the best brakes that you can get for a superbike. And they are quite good, let me tell you. Woo! That was my toe touching down. How about that? I wasn't expecting that. Okay, so now we got most of a warm-up lap here at Valencia. I'm gonna wick it up a little bit. Front straightaway is not very long, but it is exciting. And here we go. For turn one, wait for that apex to come to you. Yeah! Yeah, the front end is so good. I always brake too early because the brakes in the front end are that good. It's really a very direct bike. And when you change direction, like we will do coming up here, do this right-hander, accelerate and then peel into the left-hander. It's so linear when it changes direction. You don't feel like you're fighting it nearly as much as other bikes. Yeah, that's my favorite part right there. Diving into corners. But right here, this thing right here changing direction, lighter, especially than the 1299. And that's probably because of that backwards rotating crank. It makes a big difference, I think. This quick little thing here is another direction change. Right, left. Yeah. Woo. Okay, there you go. One lap of Valencia on the Panigale V4. I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. Okay guys, I think that's just about all I can do for you here from Valencia. Flying lap or two. I hope I answered some questions about what the bike sounds like and feels like to ride. Oh, there's one now. Pretty V20, right? I don't know. The exhaust note still gives me a big kick. I wanted to show you guys something that not everyone gets a chance to check out, and that's a naked Panigale. Pretty nifty, right? With all the bodywork off, you can see how dense a modern sport bike is. And I don't mean that in the negative way. Everything's really central in the middle of the bike. Not a lot going on in the tail section, not a lot going on up front either, except for that headlight subframe thing. It's actually made out of magnesium. It only weighs a couple pounds, which is pretty nifty. The big thing though is this thing. It's a frame. Ducati's even using the term frame, which historically in Panigales hasn't been the case, right? They had that monocoque in the front. This is actually kind of a more conventional aluminum semi-spar, and I think this is really interesting too. Back at this engine mount right here, where it connects to the rear cylinder, it also connects to the rear subframe, which means the Panigale, in the first time of the history of Panigales, as they're named, has a connection between the steering stem and the back of the bike through an actual frame, something other than the engine. I think that might have something to do with why it feels more direct on the racetrack. Just my opinion though. Big honking brakes, big honking radiator is the after effects of lots of power. Where there historically was one big honking header sticking out of the rear cylinder, now there are two, obviously, and it's oriented just a little bit differently because of the way that the pipes plug into the canister underneath. Will it cook your butt when you're riding on the street? That's a great question. It's not something I can answer yet because I haven't ridden it on the street. Only other one I rode was, of course, in the rain at Misano there, where it was like 40 degrees, so heat was not a problem. Link to that video up here, by the way. Anyhow, I hope you guys got a kick out of this. I hope that you'll subscribe for more first rides like this in the future. I hope that you'll look below for more links with information about this bike, like the first ride article that I wrote and I tried really hard on, so please click on it because, you know, do me a favor. Thanks for hanging out. See you next time.